Hey there, fabulous. Welcome to Your Marketing Mentor, the entrepreneur podcast where passion meets strategy and authenticity fuels growth. I'm your host, Sherry Sutton, your business growth guide, marketing mentor, and biggest cheerleader on this incredible journey of creating a purposeful and profitable business. Whether you're just starting out or looking to elevate your business to new heights, you're in the right place. With nearly 30 years of experience in strategic omnichannel marketing, I'm here to help you uncover your unique voice, build a profitable business, and make a real impact in the world. In each episode, we'll dive into personalized marketing strategies, authentic content creation, and the complex yet rewarding path of entrepreneurship. Expect practical advice, inspiring stories, and expert interviews, all designed to empower you to show up confidently as the face of your brand. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get ready to create a legacy together, one that not only makes money, but also a difference. You got this, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. All right, let's dive in. Welcome to today's episode of Your Marketing Mentor. Do you ever feel like you're just spammy? This is the number one problem that I hear from people is, especially on social media, they're like, I just don't want to be one of those like spammy, weirdo people that everyone gets annoyed with and stops unfollowing. And I totally get it. We had a phase in marketing, I would say, especially, 5 years ago and even now, but where a lot of people were learning methodologies of social media marketing where you needed to be posting, 5 times a day, and you needed to be DMing people and telling them like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And those days are really gone. People still do it. I'm not saying they don't do it. But those days of kind of that super aggressive social media presence are really gone. But you still want to have some sales, some things about your business on your social profile. And so I want to talk today a little bit about I'm going to share with you kind of 3 different ideas of how to shift your mindset and your social media in a way that feels comfortable for you, doesn't feel spammy, and is going to get business, but without, people unfollowing you. If they unfollow you because you've got a business, then there's something else going on there, right? Okay. So the first thing I want you to think about is mindset. It's okay for your social media to be about business and about personal. If you are a Gen X like me, or older, or a boomer, we were taught that personal life is over here, right? Is over on one side, and business life is over on the other side. And there's this giant brick wall in between. And you cannot cross that. What you do at work, you do at work. What you do at home, you do at home. And while I get that sometimes you want to have that mindset, right? So when you're home, you're not always working and those types of things. When you are the face of your business, when you are an entrepreneur, things change. When you work in the corporate world, you can do that, right? My work is here, my home is here, my personal life is here. But when you are an entrepreneur on social media, especially when you're the face of your brand, and I'm talking to you, my coaches, my doctors, my lawyers, really anyone who is the face of their brand, photographers, you need to have a social media presence that shows not only your business, but who you are as a person, because people need to know, like, and trust you. And a lot of that happens on our personal page. So I'm going to talk about Facebook in particular, because on Facebook, we have the ability to do business pages and personal pages. You can do this on Instagram as well. But especially on Facebook, there's personal pages, right? Where we're like, wait, I can't post about my business there. That's where I post about my grandkids. And then we're like, oh, well, we do everything on our business page. Your business page especially on Facebook, will never get seen. It just won't. It might sometimes get seen. So I'm being a little, I'm overstating the situation a little bit for effect. But in general, those pages are very difficult to get eyeballs on unless you're paying for ads. And that's a whole separate strategy, which I actually don't recommend for most of the businesses that I work with. So, if you're only posting about your business on your business page, the chances of you getting the number of eyeballs you need to get are very low. And the possibility of having the same person see your message as many times as they need to see it in order to remember who you are is very, very low. So, the old adage is people needed to see your message 7 times before they were willing to buy from you. Well, now it's, people are saying it's up to 30 times. And so if you're only posting on your business page, the chances of someone seeing your messages repeatedly is extremely, extremely low. So, our best option then is to start posting about things on our personal Facebook page. And this is something that I teach all of my clients how to do. So, you need to shift that mindset of personal and business because you're an entrepreneur, because you're the face of your brand, they can mix, right? It's okay for them to mix a little bit. Now, there may be times where you don't show pictures of your grandchildren unless it's to a certain audience, and you can shift the number of people who see your Facebook posts if you want to do that for whatever kind of privacy reasons. But in general, I have found the most success for people in using their Facebook personal page as a place to also market their business. So be open, change your mindset that this is a place that you can do that. Now, when I tell people that, the first thing they say is, I don't want to be one of those spammy weirdos who is like always selling to my friends. And so here is a couple tips on how to not be spammy on your personal, particularly your Facebook page. This could also be on your Instagram or on your LinkedIn or whatever. So the first thing is you just always want to be really approachable with very authentic photographs. So one of the ways that we can build personal brands is through photography. And as a photographer, this is something that's near and dear to my heart and that I use a lot in my business, and so do all of my clients, is really authentic brand photography. There's nothing worse than seeing a video or photographs of someone, on their social media or on their website, and they look all, put together and they've got a suit on. And then you see them in person and they're like in sweats and, a messy bun or whatever. You want to be very consistent of who you are in all aspects of your life. And again, this goes back to that mindset thing. For many of us, we were taught you dress this way for work, you act this way for work, and at home you act this way and dress this way. As an entrepreneur, and again, as the face of your brand, you get to combine those. And I think as hard as that is, emotionally and mindset wise, I think it's so beautiful that we get to show up in our lives and in our business as one person, right? For me, that is the true essence of living an authentic life. And one of the reasons why I love being an entrepreneur so much, because I get to dress the way I want to, I get to show myself the way I actually am. So you want to make sure that all of your marketing, especially on social media, is very approachable, very, very authentic to who you are. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your feed is a mix of both business and personal posts. And so I usually say 25 to 30% of your posts should be personal type posts. So those are like, hey, I'm at my kid's basketball game, or here I am at the beach, or whatever. You don't have to show yourself in a bikini or anything. So don't worry about that. But more, things that are a little bit more on the personal side. Now, you get extra points if you find ways to do personal and professional posts all in one. And I love these kinds of posts. And again, I teach all of these to my one on one clients. And this is where you take a picture of yourself with, at a networking meeting, or, out and about with, let's say you're meeting with somebody, or like, here, I'll do it right now. I'm going to take a picture of myself, and I'm going to take a picture of myself doing this podcast. So if you can see me, you can see me doing this. Otherwise, if you can't, you can just imagine, okay, there I am. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post that on my Facebook page, and it's a personal post, right? Hey, here I am doing my thing. It's a funny picture. I had a little funny smiley face. And I'm gonna post that and be like, "Hey, I'm recording my new podcast today," right? So now I've promoted that I'm in a podcast, but I've also got, kind of a behind the scenes, very authentic picture. Those are great personal slash professional posts. You can do these at networking meetings. You can do these as behind the scenes, right? Here I am. Maybe if you're with a client, if you're able to show your clients on camera, obviously, sometimes if you're a doctor or an attorney, you can't do that. Or, here I am in, driving to whatever, or on my way to meet with, my latest client. I'm so excited to work on blah, blah, blah. Right. And again, networking meetings are a great way to do this as well. Take a picture with everyone at your networking meeting, tag them in the post. All of those things are great personal but also professional posts, and those if you can manage to do 30% of your posts like that, I find that those do really, really well. The next thing you want to think about when you're creating a non spammy feed for your social media, for your personal social media, is you want to always be of service. And this is where your marketing strategy really comes in. And so, one of the things that I work on with my one on one clients is we really spend a lot of time identifying who your target audience is, but then what are their needs? What are they struggling with right now? And how can you solve that? And then we create content from that place. So when you're creating content from a place of, hey, buy my widget because it's awesome and it's only 19.99 for a limited time, like that feels gross and spammy. But if you say, I've been using these new vitamins for the last 3 months. They've really helped me with my gut health. And I hear that from so many people about how that's a struggle for them. If it's something that you struggle with too, like give me a holler. I'll send you a sample. That feels so much better because all that your only intention is to be of service. Your only intention is to help people with whatever their problems are. Now, the solution is your product, right? So that's okay. So you want to always come from a place of service. So again, this goes back to your overall marketing strategy. What's my client struggling with now? Where do they want to be and how can I help support them? And then creating content from that place. And if someone buys, someone buys. But that often makes us feel much less spammy when we're creating our content. And I have other podcasts that talk about exactly how to do that, how to formulate posts that don't feel really spammy, how to formulate posts that are service first. So check out those podcasts on wherever you listen to podcasts or on my YouTube channel. Okay. So we've talked about the mindset shift that you have to make. We've talked about some tips on how to not be spammy. I also want to talk a little bit about how to make your profile work for you as a business owner. We often miss a lot of the things that we could do to make our feed look really, really good and without being like overly like, hey, I'm, buy my stuff, but just to show that we're a business owner. So, the first thing that you can do is to change the header on your Facebook page to be about something that you do. This is a great opportunity for you to use some of those really authentic brand pictures to just say something really very easy. Offering whatever, or like mine says like how to market yourself without being a spammy weirdo, right? Make it a little fun, make it very centered on what your customer's challenge is, include a couple fun authentic pictures, don't be too stuffy, right? That's where it starts to get a little spammy. So you can change that header on your Facebook page. The other thing you can do is make sure that you're pinning posts. So you can pin a post so that it always shows up at the top. And so I like to do that for posts that are a little bit more general about things that I do or major accomplishments that I've had. So when I'm featured on, something, then I include it there. Like I was just named like MSN's top entrepreneur. And so I think I have that up on there. My TED talk is there as my pinned post. just so that when you're meeting someone new, they're always those are the things that they're only going to look through, a handful of your posts. They're like, oh, okay, I get a sense of what she does. The other thing to look out for on your Facebook profile, your Facebook personal profile, when you log in, over on the left-hand side, there is a introduction section and then like an about me section. And you can change that to say whatever you want. So I would always include a little blurb about what you do, but don't have it be all business. So I think mine says like marketing mentor, mom, yogini, right? Like sober AF, right? Because I'm in a 12-step program and talk a lot about my sobriety. And then I put a link to my website. So, keep it a little personal, keep it a little bit professional. Again, this is where our mindset shift comes in around how do we allow ourselves to be both personal and professional, and how do we kind of straddle that line, and it does get easier over time, and this is a great place to do that. So then there's also an about section there. Make sure you have a link to your Facebook business page. Now, I said earlier that Facebook business pages don't get a ton of traction, but you should still have one. And this is why when someone wants to friend you on Facebook and they find you, then they want to be able to look at your business page to see what it is that you do, make sure you're legitimate, make sure you're trustworthy, make sure that you're posting regularly, that like you're actually still in business. I know it seems like a small detail, but it is really, really important to have that. Even if the page isn't great, you could do a post, once a week or something, but having some place that they can go to look you up is really, really important. Um, the other thing is to make sure you've got your URL in there, right? So that people can go to your website, include some education, anything that's important to the business that you're in now. So it might be like a coaching certification or like where you went to medical school or where you went to law school, right? Something like that to include in there. Like I've got some of my education pieces in there as well. And then I did some fun things, right? I've got like hobbies and I've got like I've got a link to my husband and that type of thing. So, making sure that that left-hand section when you log into your Facebook personal page is, reflects both who you are as a person as well as talks a little bit about your business. Because here's the thing, people are rooting for you. They want to buy from you. If you can help them, they want to buy from you, or at least they want to refer you. I'm going to say one more thing about why Facebook personal pages are so important. Here's why you want to be friending your professional network on your personal Facebook page. So I'll give you an example like from yesterday. I have a client. Her name is Sherry Elliott Yuri, and she is a crisis coach, right? So if you're going through divorce or whatever. So I was on a Facebook group and someone said, I just broke up with my boyfriend. I'm a mess. Does anyone know a therapist or somebody who could help me? So I go, and in that group, I can't tag her business page, but I can tag her personally. But I can only do that if I'm friends with her, depending on how she has her stuff set up. So it's incredibly important that I am friends with all the people who want to refer me, because if they refer me in those groups, they can only do it on my personal Facebook page because of the way that a lot of these groups are set up. And I can tell you, I get I'd say a solid 30% of my business from referrals that happen through Facebook groups. It used to be a lot higher. Now I've been in business long enough that I'm getting, the vast majority of my business comes through referrals or through this podcast. But that's an incredibly important reason to use Facebook personal as a place where you do business, even though it may feel a little uncomfortable. But I hope that some of the tips that I shared with you today are going to allow you to feel a little bit better about how to do that. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have anything else that you'd like for me to talk about in the future, let me know. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you again next time. And that's a wrap of today's episode of Your Marketing Mentor. I hope you found some valuable insights and feel inspired to take action in your business. Remember, you have the power to create a purposeful and profitable business. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your feedback helps me create content that truly serves you. And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends and fellow entrepreneurs. Let's spread the love and help more mission-driven businesses thrive. Stay connected to me on social media and visit my website for more resources, tips, and support. I'm here to walk alongside you every step of the way. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep shining and keep growing.